Welcome to Good Day Street Talk, everybody. I'm Antwan Lewis. Here's what we're working on today. It's back. The Take Steps Walk to Raise Awareness for Crohn's and Colitis and that foundation. Find out where you can come out to show your support. Then later, honoring our home healthcare workers. It's a first of its kind award ceremony that's recognizing their important contributions to the healthcare industry and beyond. But first, we love to talk about this. The 7th annual Tunnel to Towers Tower Climb New York City honors all of America's heroes. The event takes place on Sunday, June the 4th. The event supports the great work of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and the chairman and CEO, Frank Siller, our friend, is here with us this morning. Always a pleasure. You hear the applause in the background, right? How are you?
I'm really good. We've been real busy this year, doing some great work, and I always love coming here talking to you every year about the climb because we honor so many beautiful and great heroes.
Absolutely we do. Let's talk about it. 7th annual, Sunday, June 4th. 1,000 participants?
Yeah, we're allowed to have 1,000 people sign up. There's some registration still open, so people might want to join us. They could go to t2t.org, and if they can't join us, they could support us by, donating, as I always ask, for $11 a month. So we honor all those who perished on 9/11, but most certainly our first responders, who many of them were running up those stairs to save people's lives. And we have 3 beautiful widows who are going to be our honorary starters this year. They are the wives of Lieutenant Brian Sullivan, Lieutenant Joe Maiello, and firefighter Christopher Slutman, all who have died in the line of duty, 2 as firefighters, and Chris Slutman, who was a firefighter but also died protecting our country overseas in Afghanistan. So he is a special superhero, I call them all.
Absolutely.
But most certainly when you serve as a firefighter here in New York and then go serve our country and give your life overseas for us, it's a special story. But these great families are going to be there joining us, and we're there honoring them.
We met Mrs. Maiello. I did a story on her husband not too long ago. Lovely, lovely lady. Frank, talk about the role that you and the foundation step in, because their lives are gone. They're taking away in just a flash like that. And you all have made it a point to remind these surviving family members, these widows with young children, in many instances, that somebody has their back. Why is that so important to make sure that you're doing that?
Well, I think as Americans, we should make a promise to all first responders and to our military that if they loved ones go out and serve our country or our community, and God forbid something happens to them, that we're going to take care of their families that are left behind. It gives those peace of mind to the family members, but most certainly to those who serve, knowing if they give their lives, that their family is going to be taken care of. And that's what we do. We pay off their mortgages. If they don't have a home, we build them a home. And, we do it all over the United States. But here we are in New York. This is where we all originated from. My brother sacrificed what he did on 9/11. What Captain Billy Burke, he's legendary. He stayed behind to comfort somebody and knowing that he's going to give up his life, But how many of them were going up those stairs knowing there was a big possibility they weren't going to come down? So what we do here is we honor those who perished on 9/11, but we also make sure that we raise the money to take care of all those who continuously die for us, whether it be 9/11 illnesses or just die, protecting us every single day and leave young families behind.
But you also have extended that same protection and generosity, if you will, to just those who may come back not fully themselves, whether it's, they've lost a limb, a member or something. You've also built or had retrofitted homes, redesigned for those. So you're remembering everybody.
Well, what we're remembering is what I say the greatest of all Americans, those who are willing to die for you and I, and all too often do, or give up their bodies. But not just these people with these injuries are catastrophic.
Yes.
Double amputee, paraplegic, quadriplegic, traumatic brain injury where they could barely function. And yes, we build these smart homes all across America. And now we're doing it for law enforcement. We used to just do it for military members. Now we do it for first responders that, maybe get shot and paralyzed, or a firefighter in a building that collapses and now paralyzed or lost their legs. We do that all over America. So the need is tremendous. The need is tremendous out there. We just want to keep on doing this type of work, but first and foremost to make sure we never forget the sacrifices that is being made.
You betcha. All right, let's talk about the climb. Last year was the first time in person since the pandemic.
Correct.
So what did you learn from last year, and how did you apply that all to this year, if anything?
Well, what we learned is that the people were anxious for it to start again, and get back to normal. And look, when you see so many first responders and family members, 9/11 family members, or Gold Star widows and etc. go up those stairs, and they climb up those stairs. It's incredible, you know, and it's 2,226 steps, right? 104 stories. And I always say that there are a minimum of 2,226 stories that have come out of 9/11, and most certainly afterwards, because we have 7,072 men and women that gave our lives for our country since 9/11. It's emotional when you see it. You're up there, they come out, they're sweating. We have double amputees that do it. One of our high amputees cannot go up on their short legs, so he went up on his arms and got up there. It's remarkable to watch the courage that these guys have, and women. First, they survive these horrific injuries, and then the courage they have to recover and get back into society is remarkable. And to see them go up there, and it's very humbling to be part of that day.
So give me the information for anyone that's looking to register still. I know we're limiting to 1,000, but you know, if anybody wants to register to see, or even just to make a donation to help out.
Go to T2T.org. It stands for Tunnel to Towers. My brother ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel to the towers on 9/11 and gave up his life. Married, left behind 5 beautiful children. You go to T2T.org, and you know, look, if you can't climb, you don't have to. You could donate $11 a month, and we could help all these great families.
I was just going to segue into your brother, just for people who may not know just the heroic sacrifice that he made. You know, on that day he was off and heard what had happened and got as far as the tunnel, and they wouldn't let anyone through. So what did he do? Was it 60 pounds?
60 pounds a year.
Strapped on 60 pounds and decided, I'm going to go and save lives. And we lost him, you know, in the process. But each year, and since then, you and your siblings have just made it a point. Him just being the face of so many, you know, that gave so much for that. It's such a legacy, Frank. Just when you look back on it, you know, what are your thoughts on your brother? I know he was your baby brother, but, you know, just you've had some time now. Just reflect for a minute. Well,
I see his children all the time, and I see him in them. They're remarkable. They're all turning into these phenomenal human beings, which is no surprise. His wife has done a tremendous job with them. They were surrounded with a lot of love. But we miss him. I don't care how many years it goes by. We miss him. You know, he's the youngest of 7. He was our youngest brother. My parents died when he was a little boy, so we raised him like a son. So it was a tremendous loss for us. But I'll tell you what, he'd run through that tunnel again and up those stairs again to save people because he had a call to duty. And that's what these men and women do all the time. They have a call to duty and they react. They don't run away. They run towards the danger. And I think what the foundation has become is, you know, Stephen's symbolic of the heroism of 9/11 and the heroism of ever since, of so many men and women that are willing to risk it all for our safety. So we're proud as a family that we continue doing the work that we're doing and taking care of these other families that have paid a big price for us.
We will see you on June 4th.
You will see me.
And then you'll come back and see us again, right?
Absolutely, as always.
As always.
Thanks, Antwan.
Stay right there,
God
Frankie.
bless.
All right, everybody, coming up next, take steps for Crohn's and colitis, what you can do to support us. I said us. I'll explain when we come back. Welcome back. Every year, Fox 5 is proud to partner with the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation for the annual Take Steps Walk. It's all happening on Thursday, June 15th at Pier 16 at the South Street Seaport. And joining us now to talk a little bit about it, Nicolette Iliano, the Associate Director of Fundraising Campaigns and Volunteer Engagement, joined by Jason Gandel, who is the Teen Honored Hero for this year's event. Also with us, Corporate Honoree Dominic Courtcamp, Managing Partner of New York Life's Manhattan General Office. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
In the tease, Nicolette, I mentioned us when I was talking about it to let people know that I have been personally connected with the foundation for a number of years now because of my nephew. And I reached out to the foundation 8-9 years ago, you know, when he was diagnosed because it was new to our family and I needed help to be the uncle that I strive to be. Hearing and saying all of that, just talk about the importance of Take Steps and what this means on June 15th.
Absolutely. So Take Steps is the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation's largest fundraising event, and it truly is a community event. It is created and built to bring together the IBD community, and IBD is a collective term for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. And really what we want to do with the walk is just create that community event and bring together New York City to support the foundation's mission to cure Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis.
Just to let everyone know, with all of the seriousness that happens because of this event, It is absolutely one of the best parties out there on the South Street Speedway. Yeah, it is fun. The Mean Machine Band is always there. I'm always messing with Willie and those guys. They're a great group. But just the atmosphere, just the shirts that you see, everyone trying to show empathy and to be a supporter of, you know, people who are impacted, families who are impacted by this. It just, you don't cry, you just get excited. Or if you do get tears, it's just because you're just so happy because everybody's on the same page.
Absolutely. And this year we have a brand new event day experience, which we are so excited for. And really the purpose of recreating the event this year is to bring together and to promote the patient journey. So we are there. We are out there walking every single year for patients like our honored hero, Jason here.
Hey, Jason.
And we're so excited to unveil this new experience this year and share it with the community.
Jason, let's talk about you. When were you diagnosed? How old were you?
I was diagnosed when I was around 9.
Okay.
It was a really weird experience because it took a while for me to get diagnosed. I wasn't diagnosed with Crohn's right away. My doctor thought I was lactose intolerant at first, so I finally got a doctor who could help me with this, and she figured it out right away.
You're about the same age when you were affected is when it impacted our own family. A similar circumstance, we thought it was lactose intolerance because that is a condition affecting members of our family, including myself. How did your family adjust, Jason? You know, because stopping milk is one thing, but having to restructure a diet, you know, is an entirely different situation.
I was lucky because I didn't really get affected by that many foods. The worst part of it was the medication because I get IV, so it's a needle, and I have never been good with needles, which is funny because now I'm fine with it. Like, I don't think anything of it because I get it every 6 weeks. But at first that was really difficult.
And Dominic, you're here with us being recognized for you and the work that New York Life is doing. Just tell us how you came to be connected with the foundation.
It's actually a funny story. I call it serendipity, being at the right place at the right time. I actually bumped into the director of the greater New York City chapter. We actually share office space in an office building in an office downtown. And once I learned more about the prevalence of this disease, I knew we had to get involved. And once we got involved, we got our home office partners involved and the rest of other offices across New York Life. And just most important is the power of the people and being committed to change. And that was the most important for us.
Dominic, how familiar with the disease, with everything that encompasses IBS? Were you?
You know, I really wasn't. And I think it was the eye-opener for me was when we decided to support the foundation. It was the overwhelming support and realizing, like, wow, we have so many friends and family members and policyholders and clients that are affected by this awful disease. And I think it's this stigma behind the symptoms of why maybe this is unspoken about or underspoken about. And we knew we just had to get involved.
Dominic brought up a good point, Nicolette, because for a long time it was the thing that you talked about, you know, in a corner, or it was in whispers. Yeah. You know, that's not the case, thankfully, anymore. As we talk about raising awareness, how does the foundation view these conversations now taking place in public, and no one's not being shamed or, you know, afraid to talk about what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's an important point to note that there is 1 in every 100 Americans that is living with IBD. So the odds are that somebody that you know, somebody that you work with, a friend, a family member, has either Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. And it is our job at the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation to bring awareness to these diseases, to raise funds so that we can find cures. And we do that through events like Take Steps. And we fundraise for the foundation because we are able to provide funding for research initiatives, for patient advocacy and support services. And all of these things get us closer to cures. So that is really, really our mission.
Dominic, have you been to the Take Steps? Have you ever been to
Yeah, we have, actually.
Cool,
last year was our first. It was really cool. We rallied our troops together, and we helped and volunteered to set everything up. And it was just a great experience, and getting more people from the community involved. And that's the most important, really making everybody aware of the importance of giving back. I think that's so vitally important, especially after what we all just went through over the past few years. Very, very important.
Jason, have you ever been?
Yes, for many years. I have a lot of friendship bracelets. This one, my first one, is from the first walk that I went to.
Do you have a team?
Yes, I do.
Tell me your team's
We're
name.
called the Crystal Gems. It's Steven Universe. And it's me, my family, and some friends.
How about that for a segue for you to give us the information for the website, Nicolette?
Absolutely, and I think these two here are such a great example of how important it is to get involved for a cure that means so much. So we would love to have everybody out there join us on Walk Day, June 15th at the South Street Seaport.
Pier
16, that's right. And you can get involved by creating your own team, get involved with your friends and family. If you work for a company and you'd like your corporation to get involved, we have corporate teams, we have corporate sponsorships. There are so many ways to get involved. If you want to volunteer your time, that's available too. But you can find out more information at cctakesteps.org and just search New York City.
And I will be there. I am emceeing it again.
Yep.
I was away last year, but all the other years I have definitely been there. So if you are coming out to Pier 16 on June 15th, I'll be the one up there on the stage yelling, the one with no hair and the glasses on. You say hello to everyone at New York Life, and thank you for your support and the process of you showing that you are supporting, such an important cause.
Absolutely.
You continue to grow and prosper, and you come back and see us, okay? And I will see you on the 16th, all right?
Thanks so much, Antwan.
Stay right there. Saluting our home healthcare workers, a first of its kind award ceremony to honor their important work in the wake of the pandemic. We'll tell you about that when we come back. Welcome back. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown the critical importance of healthcare workers. Now, among the essential roles, that was, of course, home healthcare workers. And now one organization is saluting them with the first ever Care Star Awards. And here to tell us all about that, Kevin Howell, founder of Anchor Group. And also joining us is caregiver Uriel Clark-Spring from Brooklyn. Hello and good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Antwan. Thanks for having us.
So just tell us about how the award ceremony and how it all came to be, Kev.
Well, I mean, pre-pandemic, around 2018, my team and I, we figured we wanted to recognize home care workers because most of our clients are in the healthcare space, and we saw the gap as it pertained to welfare of the worker and just the inconsistency from agents to agencies as to how they deal with home care workers. And so we wanted to provide a lens through which we wanted to see the world, as it were. And the Care Star Awards came out of that general theme.
Was it an easy sell to everybody, to get everybody on board? Because
it's progressive.
That's a fair question.
It's progressive because though we conceptualized the event in 2019, the pandemic happened. And so now post-pandemic, we were talking to many partners, health plans, agencies. It's not a hard sell. Everybody knows the work of the home care workers.
Right.
And everybody is connected to the work of the home care workers. Somebody got a mommy or a daddy or an auntie or a friend, grandparent that have gone through the process with a home care worker. So I think in a lot of ways, it's not a hard sell, it's the mobilization, because we wanted to create an event that is more than a certificate. At the end of the day, you want to create a swell where the home care worker can be recognized for their work, but the next person who needs care can get information as to how to get care. So it's not just about the award, it's about the industry. And drive, especially with the baby boomers and so many seniors. I mean, if you're 45, 55-year-old, your parents potentially might need care. Do you know how to get that parent care? And so that's a big part of the event.
I'm square in the middle of that range you just gave. Before we bring Uriel in, just tell us about how many people are being recognized.
We'll be doing a short list with judges, and then we're doing a voting. So the top 20 home care workers will be packaged, and just to kind of push the energy of what they do out there, to get general community a part of the conversation. And that would run from July 1st to July 30th. And then the awards is on August 3rd.
Uriel, how long have you been a home health care worker, dear?
Well, presently with my agency, 30 years, but I work somewhere else with Upjohn Healthcare for an additional 10 years.
So you've got 40 years, you know, of taking care of others. What was your motivation to decide this is what I want to do? This is what I want to dedicate my life to doing?
Passion and love of humanity.
Why is that important, Uriel?
I think I'm a giver, so therefore, I want to see the best happen to any age group. I'm not prejudiced with any age because we take care of millennials, we take care of Gen Z, we take care of the baby boomers. So it's a wide range, a wide spectrum of people. But when you are down and out, you want somebody with love taking care of you, as you would want for yourself. So this is the reason I'm in the field, for all our workers, and I'm sure that's how they feel also. I'm speaking on behalf of all the home care workers.
And you are speaking quite well, dear. Stop being nervous. You're fine. You're at home here. I have to ask you, though, how did you, and I'm now talking about you, I want you to speak for you, Uriel. How did you handle doing your job with the same level of dedication in the pandemic?
Well, you know, I don't want to put an age on myself, but I went through the snowstorms, the blizzards, the hurricanes, and also the transit strike. I had to walk to work, and that was more challenging than the pandemic, because I practice what they teach me in my agency so that I am safe and my patients are safe. And then when I go back to my family and my grandchildren, they're safe. It's more than one level that you have to practice safety with. So the pandemic, I didn't have to adjust or pivot. I just continue doing what I've always done.
The submission and nomination process, you know, just quickly, Kevin, what are you all looking for? And if someone wants to nominate someone, the website where they should go, sir?
So you can go on www.carestaraward.com. All the information is there in terms of what the submission should be. I mean, we're obviously looking for more partners to be a part of the conversation, more health plans, obviously, lifestyle brands who want to provide impact to the home care worker. This is an opportunity. Our media partners, of course, we're definitely looking for media partners to be a part of the celebration for us. And obviously, I mean, our partners are excited. Several agencies have been supporting us so far. Cabs Home Care, JASA Care. We're talking to the 1199 unions.
And then the ceremony is
August 3rd.
August 3rd.
But it's a series of events and activities leading up to the August 3rd event.
So you got stuff going on.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
Nice to meet you,
A pleasure.
Kevin. Say hello to everybody at the
Definitely.
for
Will do.
us. Thank you for 40 years of being selfless, you know, and putting others before yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, you come back and see us.
Very nice.